So now we are looking at Kreutzer 31, which is the first excerpt for the 11-12 All-State Orchestra auditions. Kreutzer 1's a lot of fun. I think it's a really great excerpt. I'm excited you guys are learning it. Vivace means it's fast, and the metronome marking of 80, is that what it is? Yes, it's 80. It's a good clip. It's a good clip. It's nice. It makes it exciting. So, before I play through it, a few tips on practicing this. First of all, do not practice fast. Practice slowly. If I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times to all my students and to myself in my head, that you can only play it clearly fast if you can play it clearly slow. So don't get ahead of yourself. Have the patience and the self-discipline to be able to practice it nice and slowly, both for the intonation over here, as well as for the motions here in the right hand. You have a combination here in the right hand of off the string stuff, some slurred stuff, and so you want to make sure that everything is quite crisp. You cannot do that if you practice it fast from the very beginning. Okay, so it's in C minor. And in C minor, that means you really want to make sure that your E flat, B flat, and A flat are nice and low. The flats need to be flatter in general, the sharps need to be sharper, that's going to give you solid intonation, and then your half steps need to be tighter together. And really applies in this excerpt where you have a lot of half position and a lot of reaching and a lot of low two and high two, and your fingers are jumping around. So make sure that low needs to be lower, high needs to be higher, half steps really nice and tight. As far as the bow goes, the right hand, every time you reset the bow after a rest, it needs to start from the string. I cannot stress this enough. You need to start from the string. And I'm talking about even in the second measure. From the string. If you don't, it's gonna sound sloppy. And if I were a judge in All-State, that'd be the first thing I would listen to is think, oh, they're not starting from the string. And I can almost guarantee you that most of your teachers have said the same thing to you. So listen to them and listen to me. Very important. Something that's gonna happen to some of you is the slurs, you're going to want to rush them. They're not really even. So be really careful in your practice that you really have nice solid rhythm throughout. What else? Yes, the dynamic marking in this piece is forte the whole time. But this is a very exciting etude, and just playing forte would be kind of boring. So I encourage you to find some phrasing and some musical qualities in this. It's not hard to do. It's pretty easy to see where the ends of the phrases are. Usually there's a rest after it. Taper the ends of the phrases a little bit to show that you're ending. If you can't figure out what to do dynamically and musically, usually a good rule of thumb is to follow the pitch. If the pitch is going up, most likely the musical line is leaning that way, and you might have a slight crescendo. If the pitch is coming down, then you might be backing off. This doesn't apply everywhere, but it's a good start. Okay, the last thing I'll mention before I play through it is the trills and the Nachschlags. The Nachschlags are the grace notes that come after the trills. I play every trill like it's marked in the first measure. So I do one turn and then the grace note. So it's going to sound like this. All right, I'm going to do that one more time very slowly. Okay, so almost everywhere, that's the kind of trill you're going to do. An exception, for example, is in measure 13. There's no Nachschlag, there's no grace note. You're just doing one quick turn in the middle of your 16th note. Okay, so I'm gonna play through it, and I'm gonna do it a little under tempo. This is not the tempo that you're required to play it for your All-State audition, but I think this will be a better practice tempo if you want to play along or if you want to hear a couple of things. So the actual tempo, okay, that's the tempo you need to play it for the All-State audition. I'm going to play it just a few hairs slower at like 73, okay? Around 73, just so you can have a little bit clearer idea of how I'm playing it, okay?